running for re-election. And joining me now with reaction is the one and only pollster, Frank Luntz. Frank, welcome back to Hannity.
Litany of stuff, either without breaking out in a smile or even taking a breath. When you think about all that lines, each one of those, any one of them individually, the American people will be frustrated with. But when you add them all up, you know, the number one issue in America today, what the public wants to vote on in the election, is ending wasteful Washington spending. But the number two issue is ending political corruption in Washington. I don't understand. Charlie Rangel's a nice guy as a person, but I don't understand why the Democrats don't throw him out right now, because he's going to be the same kind of poster child in 2010 that the scandals, remember the post office scandal and the check kiting scandal of the early 1990s led to a Republican majority. This is going to do the same thing for the Republicans in 2010.
Well, Frank, that's the point, though. It seems like he's being very defiant, and he's doing so on purpose, and he's pushing the Democrats to the brink, and he knows it. And, you know, at this point, this narrative about the culture of corruption gets advanced. But I think it's deeper. We got into this a little bit with Morris. You know, the Cornhusker kickback, buying votes, Louisiana Purchase, Tim Geithner, head of the IRS, he himself a tax cheat. You know, the narrative now has expanded pretty wide here. And, you know, if that's the number two issue, then I would say the Democrats are in trouble.
So then let's bring it around, because the attributes, the two attributes that the American people are looking for, number one, accountability in Washington, and number two, someone who says what they mean and means what they say. And they're not seeing either of those in this situation or so many others. So if you've got these two issues, spending and corruption, and the two attributes, say what you mean and mean what you say, and accountability, where does that leave the Democrats with only 97 days before the election?
99, but who's counting? We're not counting down. I think my favorite, though, has to be John Kerry. John Kerry, he literally saved, let's see, $500 in sales taxes and an annual excise tax of $70,000 because he decided that he would moor his beautiful yacht, a 76-foot New Zealand-built Friendship sloop with Edwardian-style, glossy varnished teak interior, two VIP cabins, etc., in Rhode Island, where they don't have the tax. I mean, instead of where he takes it, which is Nantucket.
But let's not forget the biggest perk of all. The huge, I don't even know the language, I don't know if you know it's coming, but the airplane that Nancy Pelosi so often uses when she goes back and forth to San Francisco. Now, she is entitled, has every right to Secret Service protection, but to have one of these huge jets
it's called a
as her transport, it's incredible, Sean.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Newt never had it. Newt did not have that.
And so I'd say to you that what the Republicans should say, if they are elected, they should make this promise, that if they are elected to Congress, Nancy Pelosi, that jet will be retired. That'll be the very first thing that'll be given back to the American people. And I promise you, you'd get a standing ovation for that.
No, I promise. And look, remember, John Boehner's never taken an earmark in his life. What do you think of the strategy? There's two strategies emerging. One, Democrats, according to the Washington Post, they're going to run on raising taxes. Okay, if they think that's going to resonate with the American people, it's really, though, a class warfare strategy that they're going to implement here. And then the other strategy, I think, summed up pretty well by Al Franken, if Republicans take over Congress, they will implement a truly dangerous agenda. Do either of those strategies, because they can't run on what they've passed, do either of those strategies resonate with the American people?
Well, I remember this in 1994 when the Republicans put forward the Contract with America and the Democrats said, Yahoo, we've got something to run against. And the American people kept saying to the Democrats, stop attacking your opponents. They haven't been in charge. And acknowledge and admit the damage that you've done. In this case, the opportunity for the GOP is not just in accountability, or say what you mean what you say. The opportunity for them is to ask on taxes, name me one job that is created when you increase taxes. Name me one small business that actually expands when you increase taxes. Name me the economic freedom principle that is enhanced when you raise taxes. If you really want to create a job, you don't raise taxes, you cut them.
What about the
That's the strongest argument the GOP can use.
Well, I'm going to ask two Senate candidates in our next segment, and that's coming up here. What do you think about the president deciding to appear on The View? The first president, apparently, to ever appear as president on daytime television. Is that a good strategy?
It's an interesting strategy, and I want to give Obama his credit. He's still getting a 65% personal favorability number. People still like him and who he is, even if they disagree where he stands.
They disagree with everything he stands for.
But what I hope that you'll ask the Senate candidates going through this process, because this is what they're going to have to answer, is what are you going to do on day one? How are you going to make a difference on day one to end wasteful government spending, to increase accountability, to make America more safe and secure? This is the challenge for the GOP. It is not enough to agree with the American people on all these key issues. They're going to have to explain in some detail what they're going to do starting that very first hour if they're given the power and the control of Washington.
All right, I have a chance to do it. I still want the contract with America. I want Republicans to put it in writing. Am I right?
Sean, but let's do it. Let's do it this way. Let's do a commitment to America. Let's not do a contract.
I don't care what the wording is. You get my point. I want them to put their promises, read the bills, balance the budgets, eliminate earmarks, energy independence, strong national defense. I don't see how they lose.
If that's Sean, I know one person who'll be celebrating on Election Day.
And who's that?
You.
Well, why would they ever listen to little old me? But anyway, we can always hope, Frank Luntz. I don't think it's that complicated, to be honest. Frank Luntz, thanks for being with us. And there is plenty more.